Hello and welcome to Comcast Local Edition. I'm Aimee Allison. Our guest today is a children's book author, Bill Sawyers, who's written 3 wonderful books that both entertain kids, and he's also raising money for local Concord schools. Welcome. Your 3 books that are here. I can see The Nest Could Fly. Why don't you describe each book briefly?
The first one, The Win on My Book, it's a riddle book, coloring book combined, and with some of my profits from the first book, I'm raising money for Holbrook Elementary and Holbrook Child Care. And the second book, The One of My Bugs, is a second part 2 to that one. And I'm raising money for Glenbrook and Mount Diablo High School. And my third book, The Nest That Could Fly, it's an imaginary story on about a family of robins. And that's going to go towards the Cub Scouts of America.
So what motivated you to take these books as an author and to donate part of the proceeds? It sounds like an unusual step for a lot of authors.
I figure our schools are lacking funds from other sources, so I figure I could try to help them out. And by donating to the PTA, I figure I'll be starting off the right way at that point. So
the proceeds go to the PTA for what other extracurricular activities that they want.
Yep.
How long have you been an author?
I've been writing for about 12 years, trying to get published for 6, and I finally got published, and I've been out for about 8 months now.
Oh, wonderful. So all 3 books have been out in the last year.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, what are the storylines behind some of the books? And The Nest That Could Fly, for example.
The Nest That Can Fly is just an imaginary family, about a family of robins, and the mother makes a mistake and covers up one of the birds, and it's difficult for him to take off out of the nest, so instead he just flies with the nest, and then he breaks free and has a happy ending at the end. It's intended for kids 3rd grade on up.
Have you done a lot of readings in the Bay Area?
I've done quite a few readings. Kids Stop in Pleasant Hill, and I want to thank them, if they're watching, for letting me come over there. In Holbrook Elementary, I read every once in a while over there.
So I can imagine you're from the Concord area, and you're doing your work, and hopefully some of those proceeds go back into Concord schools. What's next on your horizons?
I'd like to. My future goals is raise a lot more money for the schools, and maybe do some more book signings, and maybe get on the Contra Costa Book Club. That's one of my major goals.
Your books are for what ages?
My first 2 is ages 5 on up to about 8, and my 3rd book is ages 3rd grade on up, age group 8 on up.
So you're hoping to write for more elementary school kids in the future?
Yeah. I've got 4 more books to be published.
So before you were an author, what led you to this, and what was your other experience?
I've been a head custodian at a school that I won't mention for 19 years now.
So you got a real chance to meet and
I
work
started
with the kids.
I started writing poetry, and from poetry it branched off into riddles, and from riddles I decided to write some books from them. And so kids love them.
Kids love the riddle books.
Yeah, even without the illustrations.
Okay, because kids always want to know their favorite 6 or 7 jokes that they can share with their friends.
Yeah.
What's your favorite joke in your book?
Favorite riddle is probably the slide one.
Which is,
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Well, that's okay.
They can check it out on my website.
They can check it out on your website.
I got many free stories on there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Bill Sawyers, thank you for joining us. Our guest today is a children's book writer, Bill Sawyers, who wrote and published books and is raising money for Concord schools. This has been Comcast Local Edition. I'm Aimee Allison. Thanks for joining us.